Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Shuklam Varadharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Vadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Viryan Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. So let's do an introduction. My name is Ramakrishna. I live in Tampa. I manage this Sanatana Dharma organization, Sanatana Dharma Pratishtana. So I think it's about 7-8 years we are in existence now, doing well. And I have the secretary of the organization, Namrata. I will have her introduce, and then we'll go around the rest of the class.
Namaskaram, everyone. I'm Namrata. I am fortunate enough to be associated with Ramakrishna ji. I live in Tampa, Florida, with my husband and my 2 children. And I help out whenever I can. I'm stretched a little thin. I'm still working. And so it's some of that, and I have family life, so it takes up my time. But whenever I can, I join, and I am more than happy to help Ramakrishna ji. This is my mother. My parents are visiting.
Hi, Ramakrishna ji. Namaste. I am Namrata's mother. I come once in a year for 6 months. I am here 6 months, and I go to India for 6 months. I'm very fortunate to have lovely children. All are very nice and all want us to be with them. So actually, we came to this country in 1977. All my kids were very small. Namrata was only 7 years old. My son was 5 years and other daughter 9 years. So all of them had their education here. They all found the right partners. They are blessed with two children, and all are doing extremely well. And I got an opportunity to be here to listen to this Gita while Ramakrishna ji is talking about it. Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll start from the top in the picture here. Go ahead, Kamat.
Namaskar, everyone. My name is Narasimha Kamath. I live in Wesley Chapel with my wife Shanta, and we have been attending Bhagavad Gita class for the last almost 10 years. And Ramakrishna ji's class is very, very good. So we joined for this Concise course also.
We learned so many things from you, Ramakrishna ji. It's very helpful to peace of mind. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ponal?
My name is Ponal Nambi, and my husband and I moved to south of Tampa 5 years back from Philadelphia. And I was introduced to Sanatana Dharma and Ramakrishna ji family by our daughter-in-law's father, Shiva Shankar. And we are very fortunate. From that day onwards, I attend all the courses Ramakrishna is offering, and a very interested participant for the Sanatana Dharma. Very nice classes. Right. Thank you.
Namaskara. My name is Uma. I'm sure all of you know. And I'm just a shadow here. Thank you.
Shadows are very important.
Namaste. This is Raju. I've been in Dallas for more than 26 years. I have 2 wonderful boys. Older one is in 2nd year college. Younger one is going to 5th grade. So this is new area, Bhagavad Gita, or any introduction to scriptures from India. So, I'm like an open book right now. I have no background of anything.
All right, you're welcome. Where did you hear about this class, Raju?
Yeah, I was introduced to this by Venkat Raman.
Okay, okay. K. Venkatam.
Yeah, K. Venkatraman. So I met him on another. So since I just wanted to get started on learning Sanskrit,
Hmm, hmm.
so that's where I met him. So that class got started about few months back, and he suggested that there is something like this. He's from Florida as well, so suggested there's something like this. You can register, and immediately I registered.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Tim Shetty, unmute Madi. You're muted.
Okay. We are technically right now, we are in Bangalore. We came here on an emergency situation. I'm trying to continue to attend this class because I want to learn more about this Bhagavad Gita. Though I attended previous session from the 8th chapter, I was not too concerned. Too understandable about this Bhagavad Gita. We talked about that. Then Ramakrishna ji suggested he is starting a concise program. So I really immediately registered and trying to understand Bhagavad Gita better than what I have now. We
All
are
right.
attending from Bangalore at this point.
Well, all right. So when are you returning back, Tim Shetty?
26th will be back in US. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Shailaja. Shailaja Srikantaya.
Hello,
Hello. Will
Ram.
you turn on the video and introduce yourself?
I minus turn on the video. My name is Shailaja.
Uh-huh.
I want to enjoy this Bhagavad Gita. My brother is saying. I am very happy about that. I'm glad I am a part of this. Thank you very much.
All right. Vijay Ramanathan. Okay, she just joined. We'll see. All right. So last class, thanks for every one of you for introducing yourself. At least we know now who is who. In the last class, we discussed the creation models. As I said in the class, that there are 6 philosophical systems in the Hindu system. Apart from Jainism, Buddhism, apart from that, in the Hindu core itself, there are 6 systems. Everyone has a creation theory. And the most important that we looked at is the Sankhya system and the Vedanta system. The Sankhya system describes 2 entities, the inert entity Prakriti and the sentient entity Purusha. So say Purusha and Prakriti are both independent according to the Sankhya system. And then we stay under the Sankhya, we discussed how the creation happens, 25 principles, including the Purusha and the Prakriti, how the Mahat, the cosmic intellect, and Ahankara, mind, all those are following one after. And then the 5 sense elements, subtle elements. And then from these 5 subtle elements, we come to 5 gross elements through the process called Chikarna. And in Vedanta, this independence of the Purusha and the sentient and the inert is negated. So we understood consciousness as the independent principle. And from the consciousness, the awareness is created in the mind. And it is this awareness is called the Purusha. This is only an apparent entity, not a real entity like consciousness. And then the Prakriti, which is called Maya in Vedanta. So these are the Prakriti and the Purusha, are the consciousness. The consciousness is independent, Prakriti is dependent on the consciousness. And we studied how they come together in terms of the world we live in. So continuing on that. So the gross bodies that we are experiencing, we are enjoying, of all these are the products of these 5 gross elements, the Panchikarana, the 5 subtle elements combined to form 5 gross elements. The subtle elements cannot be perceived by the sense organs, but the gross elements can be perceived by the sense organs. So the physical body is made of the 5 gross elements. The subtle body includes the mind, intellect, ego, and sense organs, is made of 5 subtle elements. So the human entity is a composite of inert, subtle, and inert gross materials. Both subtle and the gross body of the living beings are inert, correct, just the way we said. Now, this consciousness, it reflects in the mind and manifests as sentiency in the body. The awareness that we get is a derivative of the consciousness, and the awareness is transient. It is not a permanent entity like consciousness. The consciousness we have studied is it pervades everywhere, and the awareness does not pervade everywhere. Awareness is only limited to the body. Now, why do we have this body? Why do we have this subtle body, the gross body, and why do we have it? It's because of our ignorance. This is beginningless. We don't know when we started this journey of taking births, and that is why it is called beginningless. So the fact that we are here today also certifies that we have been around for millions and millions of years. And then this ignorance, why is it this? I don't know myself. But not knowing myself, I say that I am the body. That is the saying I am the body is the error of identity. That is the error. Adhyasa in Sanskrit. Like a child, if it knows 8 times 8 is 64, it will say 64. If it doesn't know 8 times 8 is 64, that is ignorance, then it says it is 74. That is the error. So, not knowing the real identity, we commit errors. And so that error in this case is I am the body. That is the error that I commit. So then when I say the body, I am one body and everyone around me is another body. So that is the duality. And with this duality, I like some entities. I don't like something else. So I always like to pursue what I like. I always like to keep away what I dislike, be it vegetables, fruits, whatever it is, other people. Everything is subject to likes and dislikes in this duality. So what do I do if I like, or what do I do if I don't like? By either case, I engage in action to make it happen. Something I like, I want to be close to me. I want to enjoy that. Something I don't like, I want to keep it away. To keep it away, also I have to work so many times. So the fruits of action. Now, when I do the action, I do the action to keep the likes coming towards me. Then those fruits of actions have to be experienced. It is the body recognition that I have, and because of the body recognition, I have done actions, and the fruits of those actions have to be experienced. It's an entitlement. Getting a fruit for my action is an entitlement. It has to be experienced. And this body that I have is because of the fruits of the karma action I did in my previous births. previous birth or previous births. So in this birth, I don't have enough bandwidth to really experience the fruits of this life's actions or karma. So I have to take another birth to enjoy those fruits of karma. I told you it's an entitlement. So it has to be experienced. And that's the contract between us and Daiva, the God. So ignorance is the source of this gross bodies. Because of the ignorance, I and you, every one of us, are blessed with this physical body. Whether you call it a bless or a curse, whatever it is, we have this body and we have to live through this body. And is there a way to get out of this cycle? Yes, that's the big part of Bhagavad Gita that we'll study. Probably in a couple of weeks, we'll start studying that. So ignorance is the source of gross bodies. If I didn't know myself, I'm here. But if I knew myself, I knew consciousness. Consciousness is pervading everywhere. There is no second consciousness to engage in action. Actions can be engaged only in the duality, in the body environment, not in the consciousness environment, because there is only one consciousness and you don't engage in action within that consciousness. So all the problems come because of the duality. And if we keep the duality away, then we don't have another birth. That is the message that we are now working on. So in addition to the physical body, the other three inert aspects of creation are the cosmic mind, the cosmic intellect, and the cosmic ego. This is the aggregate of all of us. And what does it mean, aggregate of all of us? See, at the end of this life, at the end of this creation, let us say, this cycle of creation, we all are absorbed back into the Prakriti. We die, and when we die, the subtle elements, they escape from the body, and they are all now in a bucket, if you will. At the end of the creation, it's all in an undifferentiated form, and during the next creation, they are discharged back into different into a different universe, and from there comes the various bodies that we see. The creation has a purpose. I have engaged in certain actions, and I am entitled to the fruits of those actions. And those actions, to experience those fruits of actions, I need an environment, a platform, and that platform is the universe that is created again, and it should be compatible with the aggregate of all persons' fruits to be fructified or to be enjoyed. So the creation starts with aggregate mind, intellect, and ego, and from there we go into the individual one. This aggregate mind, intellect, and ego are so named because we are familiar with them, the mind, intellect, and ego, and the interaction between them. So that model is carried over at the aggregate level also. From the micro to macro, that aggregate mind, intellect, and ahankara are modeled in the same form as in the micro system. So the mind captures the objects of the universe through these sense organs. Now the sense organs does not mean it is the physical eye, the physical ear that we all have and we can see. These are the mind. You can say this sense organ is like the software of the system. It's the one. See, the physical eyes, ears bring in the outside information to the mind, and there is a receptacle in the mind which captures this information, and then it is processed. And the capturing and processing of that sense information is what we call as the sense organs. So the mind recognizes the existence of something. When I see something, say when my eyes see something, that information is transferred to the mind through the sense organ of the that's the eye, the subtle sense organ. That is the subtle eye, if you will. So, and then the mind only recognizes there's something I am seeing, but the mind doesn't have the capacity to understand what it is. So it asks the intellect. The intellect then, in association with the repository, determines that it is a human being, it's an animal, or whatever that may be. And then that is how they all work together, the mind, intellect, and ego at the micro level or the individual level. They work to identify, understand the universe. So that's the process. The mind, when the mind gets the information, it queries the intellect. Intellect then compares that information with the repository, and it returns back the nature of the object. Now the mind knows not only the object, but the nature of that object also the mind knows. And then when this mind knows, the awareness that is a part of this mind now recognizes, oh, I am seeing this object. I am seeing this object is a duality experience, that I am different from that. And that is what is called the ego there. That awareness is also called ego because of that identity. I am seeing this, I'm eating this, I'm enjoying this. All these are examples of this ego. So the ego is the part that is responsible per se for all the transmigratory living that we experience. Okay. So then what happens? The intellect, the ego then directs the mind to take action with the information, with the identity of the object that we are seeing. If I like it, I want to go near it. If I don't like it, I want to keep away from it. So we gave the example of a cow coming towards a person having a fistful of grass, and it is going away from a person having a whip in his hand. So these are all the actions that take place in the mind. And then finally, the action takes place, and then the consequences of the action. So these 8 components, the 5 subtle elements, and the mind, intellect, and ego, they are the tools of individual working through Maya, of the Parabrahman through Maya, and that is where the individual comes into picture to carry out the actions and enjoy the fruits of action. So now this is where we will start today's class. So the Prakriti or the Maya, as we said, it has 3 gunas: propensity or the proclivity. The subtle elements emanating from the Prakriti are also the composite of the 3 gunas. So when the Prakriti is of the 3 gunas, in the undifferentiated form, it is everything is during dissolution, it is in an undifferentiated form. And during the next creation, this undifferentiated form is discharged, and they start distributing that Prakriti into individual beings. And so that's whatever is the content of the Prakriti is also the content of the products coming out of the Prakriti. And the content of the Prakriti is the 3 gunas, 3 proclivities. And therefore, everything that is coming out of the Prakriti is a composite of these 3 gunas. Now, that way, all the 5 subtle elements, space, air, fire, water, and earth, they all have these 3 gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas. So we said that the sattva components of the 5 subtle elements, they make up the aggregate mind. Then the rajas part of these 5 subtle elements makes up the prana, the energy, vital energy. And the tamas part of the 5 subtle elements, they make up the inert matter of the universe. And then the inert matter, from that comes the both the subtle inert matter, and from there to the gross inert matter. Oh, this is a repeat. Okay, I'll go here. Now, at the individual level, the sattva components not only is part of the mind, it is also the five sense organs. Sense organs are nothing but a part of the mind itself. Consider it as there are 5 windows in the mind. 5 windows are called the sense organs that receives the information coming from the gross eyes and ears, etc. They are the openings of in our body. There are these 5 openings: eyes, ears, nose, and then the 2 lower organs. And this information from them comes to this window in the mind called the subtle, like sense organ. That's called the sense organ. So space, air, fire, water, and earth, they are the source of these 5 sense organs. So these 5 sense organs that we have in the mind, a window in the mind, each sense organ can only recognize one aspect of the Prakriti, the space, air, fire, water, and earth. The ears receive the sound, the skin receives the touch, the eyes receives the sight, the tongue receives the taste, and the nose receives the smell. So one cannot, for example, ears cannot receive touch or sight. Like that, they are restricted to only one receptacle. So not the physical organs, but the intelligence behind the sense organs. That's the sense organs is not the physical eyes and the ears that you see, but it is the little window in the mind that receives the information from the physical eyes, physical ears, etc. So now these 3 sattva, rajas, and tamas, they act in the human mind. That is what we are going to study in what we call as chemistry of the transient. Transient is the like you are a transient, I am a transient. That means we have not graduated to know our real nature. We are kind of going in darkness about identifying ourselves, and that identity that I have now is a transient. In this life, I have a human being. I'm a human being. I have a human body, and in the next life, I may have a divine body. I may have an animal body. I may be an insect or whatever that is. So that is the transient nature of these entities. And what is it that governs these transient entities? That we consider here in what I can call as the chemistry of the transient. Now we study physical chemistry, organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry. They are all chemistry of the individual, outside the individual. Now, if you look at another aspect of the chemistry, biochemistry is also, though it is in the body, it is outside the awareness or the ego. It's a physical body. So what is it that then this chemistry tells us? This chemistry tells us about the nature of the mind. Various, there are 3 different, like elements or the characteristics of the 5 elements, sattva, rajas, and tamas. And these 3 sattva, rajas, and tamas proclivities, they create a multitude of living beings, each having a different proportion of the sattva, rajas, and tamas, and that has an effect on the nature of the mind, and that is the chemistry of the transient that we are going to study here. So in dissolution, when there is no universe, in dissolution, then this Prakriti is made up of 33%, 33 and 1/3% of sattva proclivity. That's 1/3 sattva, 1/3 rajas, and 1/3 tamas. In dissolution, there is no activity. The sattva, rajas, and tamas have no role to play. They are just quiet, being, all of them equal to 1/3 of the total proclivity. When the proclivities of nature are in equilibrium, that is in the dissolution, only one proclivity is present, there is no manifestation of the universe. Sattva, if you take the sattva, the consciousness is 100% sattva. So there is no activity in it. The universe in dissolution is 1/3 of the sattva, 1/3 rajas, and 1/3 tamas. Then also there is no activity. See, sattva, in effect, you can say there should be a gradient of sattva, rajas, and tamas. For the life to continue, for the electricity to flow, you should have a gradient of the voltage. Otherwise, it cannot flow. Water has to flow from higher level to a lower level. But it's like that. This here, in Prakriti also, when the sattva, rajas, and tamas are in equilibrium, then there is no life. Everything is in inactive state. But when the creation happens, when the creation is supposed to happen, there is a redistribution of sattva, rajas, and tamas proclivities. And when that happens, how that happens, that is the creator's role. He will know when to do that. But that is beyond the scope of our class here. But you know that Maya is the one that has this Prakriti, or Maya is an adjunct on the Brahma, the not creator Brahma, but Brahman, the consciousness. And consciousness, see, the way to understand, at least now for us, is because I am sentient, I am able to distinguish one from the other, and I am able to start a project. But the consciousness, likewise, the consciousness being the supreme, like sentiency, that knows when to start the creation. That is how we can just at this point understand it. The Brahma Sutras describe it very comprehensively, but we will not go there today. So, in the Prakriti, in a state of dissolution, there is no difference in proclivity within that bag. It's like this: you have a bag, you have three different materials, or three different, let us say, three different those little balls, plastic balls, beads, if you can say, red color, white color, and black color. In the bag, you have them 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. But when creation comes, that bag is released. When that bag is released, someone gets more white colors, someone else gets more red color, someone else gets the black color, something like that. And that's how we can understand this, going from dissolution to creation. So how does that happen? In the dissolution, you have the 1/3 of each, and then that gets distributed. The creation process, the first entity to come out of creation is the space. From there, the air. From there, the fire. And then to water, that is through the clouds. And then it is to the earth. All these are the subtle elements. They combine to form gross elements, panchikarana. And then the human body or the animal body, whatever it is, those bodies come into existence because of this creation process. So this, whatever is the equilibrium position of 1/3 of tamas, rajas, and sattva, the human body may have a different distribution in each person. So these three distinctly different fundamental components of gunas, which form the building blocks of the universe. Now each one is a product of this macro prakriti, the 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. That is being distributed in creating me and you, and these gunas are part of every subtle element, and from there these gunas get distributed to human mind, and the gunas are the source of mood changes. We have studied this in the earlier class. Emotions happen in our mind, and there must be a reason why sometimes I'm happy, why sometimes I'm not happy, I'm sorrowful. Why it happens? Because that guna is the force behind the changes in the mood or emotions. So you and I are all born with a certain distribution of the three proclivities, and that creates an inherent capacity for mood changes like happiness, desire, lethargy, etc. When I have these mood changes, I come out of it also. It's not that I'm permanently stuck in one kind of mood change, this or that. So what happens for that change to happen? Something else must be driving it. That is what we study here in how it happens. So in addition, human beings exchange proclivities with nature as she interacts with nature. If I am happy, I would like continue to be happy, but something else happens from outside. I have something else I experience from outside, and that changes the momentary change in the proclivity in me and you, and that happiness disappears and unhappiness comes, or something is unhappiness. I want to do something. I engage in certain action, and in engaging in certain action through the sense organ, I exchange proclivity, and with that mood change happens. So like this, the various mood changes happen through the exchange of proclivity with nature. Every time you and I speak, or you and I engage in an action, there is a potential for exchanging proclivity. In this class, you have come to attend this class. Now we are learning something, and that learning is a part of sattva proclivity. We will see there later on. So this that means I have traded. At this 1 hour, I could be doing something else, but the sattva proclivity is what comes through the class as we listen and engage work with it, and then that there is a change in the proclivity dynamics at any given time. So we all have these three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas, with a varying distribution in each one of us. And also during the life of my birth to death, they are changing too. They are not, whatever I am born with, it not necessarily be the same when I die. That is the interaction that we do in this life. That's what makes the change. So the gunas are subject to modification by these actions of the human beings. So how does it manifest? They experience modifications in the mind. If he is knowledgeable of his real self, it is always 100% sattva, and there is nothing to change it. But those of us who are in the transient stage, because of that ignorance, the modifications happen. So it is this micro prakriti, that is the guna distribution in jiva, that binds the jiva in bondage. So the gunas make us engage in action, and we engage in action, and then out of that we have to enjoy the fruits of action, and then another body like this, the transmigration continues. Now this interaction with the macro prakriti of the outside world is responsible for this bondage and transmigration. If I don't act at all in any way, say suppose I'm how can I say, very huge percentage of tamas. I spend all my time doing, if I'm watching TV, I'm working, I'm doing action. So that will change the guna contribution, distribution. But if I don't act at all in any way, then I die with the same guna distribution as I was born. We know that is not possible, just to mention to understand the dynamics. So jiva's interaction with macro prakriti is what causes this change in gunas, and it is responsible for the bondage and transmigration. So when we interact, there is a interaction of the gunas. We intake proclivities through the sense organs and discharge proclivities to nature through the motor organs. So the sense organs and the motor organs, they are the gatekeepers of proclivity. While sense organs allow proclivity to enter the body or enter the mind, and through the body, when we do activities, the proclivity is discharged. Either it's a sattva proclivity that is discharged, or rajas or tamas, depends on what activity we do. And similarly, what activities we do with respect to 5 sense organs, that determines what proclivity we are consuming. So the net of what proclivity we consume and what proclivity we discharge is what remains in the mind. So those are the dynamics of this prakriti or the gunas. So the human being has the choice in the pursuit of proclivities through his activities. I can manage my proclivity through the certain kinds of activities, and how I do it depends on the knowledge that I have. And the knowledge means knowledge of the outside world. So this is the basis for the management of the gunas in every human being. Now, this guna management is a big factor in the life of a person. One who is wanting to, one who has a goal, whether it is the goal of, like spirituality, or the goal of living just the physical world, enjoying the outside world. But there's a goal, and that goal causes a certain action, and that action causes a certain exchange of proclivity with the outside world, and that Krishna describes as the management in the life of a person. The person's management, spiritual management, is very much dependent on the distribution and the exchange of proclivities with nature. That we will see as we go along.
Hainaja, can you please mute? Thank you.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Sattvam Rajastama iti Gunaha Prakriti Sambhavaha Nibadhanti Mahabaho Dehe Dehi Namavyayam. He says, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas are nature-born proclivities. We discussed that there is a, at the time of birth, we are apportioned a certain amount of distribution of the 3 gunas. Arjuna bind the immutable to be embodied in the body. So he is addressing Arjuna that these Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, they bind the immutable, that is the Atma, to be embodied in the body. It appears to be embodied only in the body as the transient, as the ego. So the inherent power in an entity which creates an association of friendship or enmity with another entity is proclivity of that entity. This is like a definition. What is proclivity? That the inherent, it creates an inherent power in every one of us, in the matter. The power is created in the matter, the power of an entity of matter, which creates an association of friendship or enmity with another entity. This proclivity allows me to come together with other people, other objects of the universe, or it wants to keep away from the other entities of the universe. That is the power of the proclivity. That power, we have the choice to exercise which power we want to exercise, which power we don't want to exercise. We have the option. One second. Okay. So the power of the 3 proclivities is to make the changeless appear as changing. The Atma is changeless, but the Atma is appearing as changeless because of the power of the 3 proclivities. It makes us feel happy, sorrow, lethargy, whatever those changes. Atma is no such changing dynamics, but it appears to make that Atma appear as happy, appear as sorrow, or appear as lethargic, all idle, lazy, whatever, all those. So it is the power of the 3 proclivities that appears to make that change in the Atma. That is the Jivatma, we say, like the transient or the Jivatma is what is the appearance of the change. So Sattva, Rajas and Tamas are the technical names of the constituents of Prakriti that I'm just repeating some of them just to reinforce at every instant. So the three proclivities corresponding to three human emotions: knowledge and happiness, desire and anger, ignorance and indolence. The Sattva is associated with knowledge and happiness, Rajas is associated with the desire and anger, and Tamas is associated with ignorance and indolence. So the three proclivities create an apparent transient, a happy transient, a desire or angry transient, or an idle transient. There is no happy Atma, angry Atma, or lazy Atma. That is all in the transient. The projection on the Atma, that is what is happy or angry or idle. So the sentiency in the living beings give the proclivities the power to manifest their disposition. What that means is the Sattva has a power to manifest happiness. Rajas has a power to make it desirous or angry, and the Tamas has the ability to create an idle transient. So what makes it them to manifest that change? It is the sentiency. The awareness that is generated in the mind gives the proclivities that power to manifest their disposition. All the three are there, but at any given time, one or the other will predominate. And what is it that makes it predominate? We will work through this. So proclivity needs another sentient medium for its power to be manifested. For example, a rock has a certain proclivity. It is almost 99% tamas. Now, that proclivity is not experienced, manifested in the rock never says I'm lazy. That ability to experience that disposition requires a sentient medium, and that sentient medium along with the proclivity is what makes the personality of the human beings. So some examples here of the distribution of gunas in the Prakriti. On the various columns are Sattva enhancing, Rajas enhancing, and Tamas enhancing. And these are only a few sample ones. This is from Bhagavata. We can study scriptures, like Sanya Upanishads of the pro-renunciation. That is a Sattva enhancing. Or pro-Vedas that tells you to do this homa, this yajna, this puja, and all those things. For this, to get some benefit out of it, I want to do the certain puja, Sudarshana homa, or something like that. And if I want to be healthy, I want to do Mrityunjaya homa. Those are all Rajas enhancing. They are good. You want them to do it, but ultimately it has an effect of like enhancing the Rajas component. Now, Tamas enhancing. In the olden days they used to do this. To hurt somebody, you can do a yajna. You can do a certain worship to hurt somebody. They were not doing it for ordinary circumstances. And one example I can give you is a king is unaware of, he doesn't have the right intelligence, and the neighboring country kingdom is invading him. Now he is not ready to fight that army coming in. Then what you can do is, what they could do at that time is they could do some homa, they could do some yajna, where the soldiers will be made disabled to not be their most effective performance. So they were weakened, and to do that, that's a kind of a temporary holdback till the kingdom here readies its army to attack, defend the country. So like that, in specific cases, they were doing it. But in today's world, there is no such activities. There is no capable person to do it. So that was a practice that was there at some time. So that is tamas enhancing, because you're trying to hurt somebody, be it for a good reason, for saving your country, but still, nevertheless, that was carried out. But that is considered as negative. Now, we drink various kinds of beverages, sacred river water or any fresh river water, milk. These are sattva enhancing. Flavored drinks like coffee, tea, coke, these are rajas enhancing. And beverages like alcoholic nature, they are tamas enhancing. People, sannyasis, or association with sannyasis is sattva enhancing. Associating with other family-centered people, grihasthas, is rajas enhancing, because all we talk about in family get-togethers is how to make the best out for ourselves and our children, either in some form or the other. Is send them to this school, or get employment there, or this, whatever it is. So that is the family-centric get-togethers are rajas enhancing. And criminals, getting with the criminals is tamas enhancing. Places, lonely places, where you can focus on meditation, they are sattva enhancing. Marketplace, where you go and see all kinds of dresses and all kinds of products to enjoy, that is rajas enhancing. And gambling centers are considered to be tamas enhancing. Early morning, we know that we are able to concentrate better. That is sattva enhancing. From sunset to sunrise to sunset, you have rajas enhancing time. You work in various factories, fields, colleges, universities, wherever it is. And then after 10 o'clock in the night, 11 o'clock in the night, even if you want to study, read something, you don't have the energy. So that is tamas enhancing. Sleep is tamas enhancing. Actions, worship and meditation actions are sattva enhancing. Desire motivated actions are tamas enhancing. And again, black magic, the one that negative, here we discuss the pro-negative, that comes under the karma that we do. That is black magic. So these are the actions. Similarly, where you are born, who you meditate on, what mantras you use, the samskara impressions, they are all, when we do, 16 samskaras to individuals, all the upanayana, wedding, etc., they are all rajas enhancing. They are all body-centric, body-focused. They are not focused on the consciousness of the Atma. Whereas cleansing the mind is an action to be able to increase the sattva. So that is the sattva enhancing. Family-centric are only for enjoyment. It's like marriage is an example of samskara for enjoyment. So absence of any of these is tamas. So like this, just a sample of entities or objects in nature that can help us modify our proclivities of the gunas. Now, so he said in the previous verse, the universe is pervaded by these three gunas. Now we are going to study the nature of the sattva, rajas, and tamas. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakashakam namayam sukha sangyena badnati jnana sangyena chanaga. Anaga is the way he is addressing the Arjuna is addressing Arjuna. Anaga is one who has not committed any sins. So that is what he says as, O sinless, the sattva being stainless, it has no dirt associated with it, is luminous and free of distress. Dirt means rajas and tamas are the dirt in the context of the gunas. So sattva being stainless is luminous and free of distress. The anamayam is free of distress. It binds the transient or sinless to knowledge and happiness. Yes, you get knowledge, but we use the knowledge, the worldly knowledge. That's what we are talking here, not the self-knowledge, but the worldly knowledge. And so they are the worldly knowledge. We having the knowledge, we do certain actions, and that binds us. That's the binding nature of other. That is, if you have to take another birth, that's the binding nature of sattva. So sattva is pure like a crystal, he says. Like the crystal allows light passing through it to see the other objects on the other side. Sattva has the power to throw light of knowledge. The knowledge here is self-knowledge, creating awareness in the mind. Awareness of, yes, I know there is an entity called consciousness. I want to enjoy the experience, that Atma. So sattva allows for that kind of growth. Awareness in the mind facilitates object knowledge. If you are looking at simple awareness of the awareness of the objects around you, that knowledge removes certain sorrows. We know that. Like if you know a particular product that can ease the chores in your house, you go and buy that. So that is the knowledge of that particular entity or particular product that allows me to reduce sorrow of maintaining the family, let us say, maintaining the home. See, sattva proclivity is blemishless and beneficial in creating awareness of objects. Every one of us has sattva. The more sattva you have, the more intelligent you are. That is how it translates to. So the sattva has the ability to generate knowledge, and the more sattva, generally, if you take our level, we are all endowed with probably predominant rajas, then tamas, then sattva. Some 20% sattva, 30% tamas, 50% rajas. So, just a ballpark number to start discussion. So with that, 20%, we are able to we are knowledgeable of the products of the world, and then we can choose what to use, what to work with, what not to work with. For example, if you take a person on a street worker, somebody who works hard labor. I don't want to discriminate anybody here, but just for the purpose of discussion, there are such people who may not even have passed high school because of what? Because of their low sattva. The intelligence in them. This low sattva creates low awareness, and that low awareness translates to low intelligence, and they are only able to do so much. So the probably they may have 12-15% sattva instead of the 20 that we have. I'm just giving an example. We may not even have 20. But anyway, and then if you take Einstein, he may have, the one we have seen in this world now, having something like, it is estimated that Einstein had an IQ of 160. Now, we all fall in the category of 100 to 120 IQ approximately. So all this difference in sattva and guna in each one of us. We are blessed with a certain amount of sattva, then like Einstein is blessed with a higher amount of sattva, and that higher amount of sattva in Einstein gives him a higher awareness, intelligence, and then he is able to know more of the objects outside than us. That's basically the function of the sattva guna. So pictorially showing, the sattva guna is like a light. In the physical world, the light bulb, allows us to see things in the room or in the enclosure. Like that, in the mind, that knowledge is generated. Knowledge of the object is generated, and that is the sattva guna. So this awareness, we had earlier discussed in the beginning how this awareness created in the mind. Now we are able to zero in on the particular part of the mind that generates the awareness. It is the sattva guna. The sattva component of the mind produces this awareness. More sattva, more awareness. So consciousness is the source of this awareness, and it is reflected as awareness in the sattva proclivity. If you take insects, their sattva is probably 1%. If you take plants, their sattva may be less than 1%. And even below the plants is the rocks and stones. They have almost, they only have probably traces of sattva, because every object has a certain amount of distribution of sattva, rajas, and tamas. So rocks and stones may have only about less than 1% of sattva. The more sattva proclivity, the strength of awareness is higher, and therefore makes the person more intelligent. So this is the chemistry of the mind, that how we are able to be more intelligent, that we have to pursue as much as possible sattva guna. So with awareness comes what? I know this, that's a happy feeling. So with awareness comes happiness and knowledge. I can easily solve a problem. Being intelligent, I can easily solve a problem. That is the increase in the knowledge. So it releases the mind from ignorance. Now the anamaya is in the text it says anamayam. Amaya is disease. Anamayam is comfort or well-being and free of laziness. And the happiness is objectified happiness here. We are not talking about the real happiness, that is the bliss of the Atma. The bliss of the Atma stays undisturbed as is. On top of that, there is this projection of the awareness, and that awareness is object knowledge. It creates this object knowledge superimposed on this bliss of the Atma. Now, what does the transient or the samsari do? He enjoys this happiness. I know everybody tells me I'm so good, I'm so intelligent, that gives me happiness. I get carried away by that. So he gets attached to this object happiness. Knowing, being a professor in physics is knowing the object happiness, is knowing the outside object, and therefore it's objectified happiness. And he is ignoring the subject happiness within. The subject happiness within is constant. It is there. It is the Atma. It is there in every one of us. But the objectified happiness is what we derive from outside agencies. We are happy with that. And that happiness we enjoy, and therefore we engage in certain action to do more of that. And that is how we are embodied to this transmigration. We are bonded to this transmigration. So with awareness, it releases from ignorance. So I know this is the object knowledge. This is giving you more examples, like it's the same discussion. I know this is object knowledge, and the experience is I am happy as both at an outcome of duality. If there is Atma alone, if one is Atma alone, then there is nothing to be happy or unhappy. You are always in the state of bliss. What is changing is in the transient mind, and that I'm happy, I know this, or the causes of this happiness, and knowledge and awareness, they create this, what you call a false happiness. Sattva proclivity engages the transient to cherish this duality. I like this. I like to be here. I like to be a professor. All these are the qualities that the transient cherishes, and therefore it binds him in the body again. Okay, you like this, I'll give you more of this. That's what the Lord says. So you get another body, maybe a better body in the next life. And like if I am born into a certain family, I will be born to a different family that has more of the same. That's one way of putting it. The sattva binds the jiva in the happiness of knowledge and sense objects. And this object happiness is not the entire, it's not the total happiness. It's only it comes and goes. We are not happy 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. We are not happy like that. So it is transient. It's now this partial means one is this much happy. If I put one is this much happy, other is this much happy. So that is a partial happiness, which is a percentage, if you will, of the bliss of the Atma. So that inherent bliss, which is always there, which is not conditional to seeing an object, knowing an object, that is the bliss, and that is the real happiness. Everything else is only partial and transient. Okay, I think we'll stop at this completion of this one. 1 second. Okay, so they will read this. Rajo ragatmakam vidhi Krishna sanga samudbhavam tanni badnati kaunteya karma sangena dehinam. So this rajas of the nature of passion is born of desire and attachment. A son of Kunti, it binds in action the embodied through attachment. So the rajas is the proclivity that engages us in action. Like we said earlier in that table, morning between sunrise to sunset, we have a lot of energy. We work and we enjoy that. We working also, I enjoy my work, we say. So there is an enjoyment in there also. But the flip side of that is it is repetitive of doing the same again and again and again, like birth after birth after birth. That we will see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.
Thank you.
All right. Any questions?
Ramakrishna ji, the slides will be available somewhere.
Yeah. I am going to talk about the last class I recorded that is available on our website.
Okay.
So let me see. Manage recording. Stop. Where is the stop recording?
What is the website?
It's It's www.sanatanadharmausa.org. And then there are tabs on the top. You click on the video, and then there's a bunch of video presentations in there. You look for Concise Bhagavad Gita. Again, the website is www.sanatanadharma, SANATANADHARMA,
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I can send the slides if you want, the last class, and I sent the first 2 classes. Then third and fourth I can send if it helps you. And then, but the recording is there from the last class. I will send you the. This is what I will do. I will give you the slides of the third class, and then you have the recording from the last class. You have the recording of this class also available in somewhere about within a week after the class.
Somehow I don't have the slides of the second class. I didn't come for that class, Ramakrishna.
No, but I sent an email.
Oh, you did? Oh, I will look for it. Okay.
Yeah,
Second
yeah.
class. Okay.
I sent an email somewhere around 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Thank you. I'm glad.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll see you then.
Yeah. Namaskar.
Namaskar.